Long ago, in the highlands of Armenia, King Gagik ruled a proud and ancient land. But he was old, and he had no sons, only one daughter, the radiant Tsovinar. Far away in Baghdad, the Caliph cast his gaze north. With mighty armies, he stormed the Armenian lands, enslaved its people, and demanded tribute. King Gagik had no choice but to bow, or risk the destruction of his kingdom. One day, two ministers of the Caliph journeyed to collect the king's taxes. But as they passed the palace gates, they saw her, Tsovinar, as luminous as the light of 7 moons. Stunned by her beauty, they returned to Baghdad not with gold, but with words.
O Khalif, you have wealth, land, and jewels, but you have never seen a woman like this.
The Caliph, proud and possessive, came to Armenia himself and demanded her hand. But King Gagik refused.
You are an Arab, I am Armenian. We are enemies. I will not give my daughter to a conqueror.
The Caliph's pride burned.
If she is not given willingly, I will take her by force!
With his army at the gates, King Gagik turned to his people. Some pleaded to resist. Others, fearing destruction, urged surrender. Tsovinar, seeing the fear in her father's eyes and the pain in her people's hearts, made a choice.
If my sacrifice brings peace to Armenia, I will go.
On the eve of her departure, Tsovinar climbed a quiet hill to say goodbye to her homeland. Parched with sorrow, she prayed,
O Creator, grant me water.
From the rock beside her, a spring burst forth, clear and cold. She drank one handful and then a half more. The next day she was taken to Baghdad. Months passed and word spread. The princess was with child, but she knew no man had touched her. Only that spring. And after 9 months, 9 days, and 9 minutes, she gave birth to twin sons. One was mighty, strong as a mountain. He was named Sanasar. The other, smaller but sharp and agile, was Baghdasar. They grew not by years, but by days. At 10 years old, they towered like warriors. The Caliph began to fear them. Kill them, he ordered. But when the soldiers stormed the chamber, Sanasar met them with fire in his eyes, and one great slap that sent the leader flying. That night, Tsovinar revealed the truth.
My sons, you were not born of man, but of our land. It is time to return to Armenia.
Through desert and shadow, the twins fled. When they reached Sassoun, the mountains roared in welcome. Drawn by a force beyond understanding, Sanasar led Baghdasar to the foot of a sacred spring, the very waters that gave them life. He plunged in, vanishing beneath its depths. There, in a hidden world, he was gifted with a sword that crackled like lightning and a fire-breathing steed known as Kurkik Jalali. When he emerged, Baghdasar gazed at the mighty horse in awe. Sanasar lifted his younger brother and placed him in the saddle. It was more than an act of strength, it was a promise. Sanasar would be the arm, Baghdasar the mind. Together they would never fall. When Sanasar and Baghdasar returned to the village, the people stood frozen in awe. The fire-breathing horse Kurkik Jalali and the lightning-charged sword were known to all in legend, long lost, never lifted, never tamed. But now, both stood before them, alive, blazing, real. The elders stepped forward, their hands trembling.
These are Tsovinar's sons. The ones from the prophecy?
Sanasar raised the sword high, and it gleamed with power. The horse snorted flames, pawing at the earth. A cheer rose from the crowd.
Our heroes have come. The land will rise again.
The sons of Tsovinar became the protectors of the land. Sanasar, the warrior, Baghdasar, the wise. Their bond, their strength, and their sacrifice would echo through centuries, marking the beginning of the saga of Sassoun. Thank you for watching the story of Sanasar and Baghdasar. If you wish to walk beside Armenia's heroes, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so their story reaches every corner of the world. More legends are on their way, full of magic, courage, and heart.